The middle of those
Okay.
two things.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining the Zoom Monday beginner class. I'd also like to say a big thank you to all of you who have donated money to the classes. So from our heart to yours, thank you very much. Donations are not required. Contributions are not required. We understand everybody's going through financial hardships and other different kinds of hardships right now. But we do want to acknowledge those that have. Okay. All right. So last week we worked on our upper body, opening and closing our arms. So we'll go ahead and review that again. So if you stand with your feet shoulders width apart, outside edge of your feet should match the outside edge of your shoulders. Okay. And we're going to sit a little bit. And when you sit, remember, just kind of bend your knees and then have your tailbone tuck down a little bit. Point your tailbone down. This will straighten your spine here and will help to ease any stress that you have on your lower body. Okay. All right. From here, we just hug a big tree. And when we hug a big tree, remember we've got about 1 fist distance between our fingertips. And I want you to stretch from your elbows to your shoulders. This will give you a little bit more of a stretch, a little bit more connecting our upper body with each other so that when you move, one side will move offset the other side. So now we can say we're truly connected. Okay, from here, if you lower your left arm, you're going to notice your left palm is up in front of your body. Turn your right arm over. Now the right palm is going to kind of look towards the side. Then we're going to squeeze in slightly. Remember to have space in your left armpit. Okay. Then from here, we're gonna open our arms. We're gonna release that tension a little bit. We're gonna make a big circle with the arms, and now they're trading places, and then we squeeze back in. So we have this type of look. So both of your palms, your hands should kind of go over and under your elbows. Okay, so we're like this. So we open and we close. So this is open and closing to the side. Then from here, we're going to open and close, swinging our right arm up, and then the left arm just falls slightly downward. So now the left palm should be kind of alongside or the hip area. Turn your right arm, left arm rotates, palm facing up. We come back towards the middle, squeezing in towards the middle. Then the left arm comes up and the right arm presses down. Turn your top arm over, turn your bottom arm up, squeeze in, then right arm up, left arm pressing down. Turn your right arm over, turn your left arm up, squeeze in, and then up and down. Okay, all right, so that's reviewing of the arms. We have these arm shapes all throughout the form. We know that Yang Family Tai Chi is known for its big, round movement. So the roundness comes from the arms, okay? All right, so does anybody have any questions about the arm shape or body shape or how to open and close the arms? Should be pretty simple, right? Okay, so I'm going to take that as a no. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to review our footwork. We're going to go into a bow stance with our left foot forward, okay? So I'm going to turn my back to you so I go the same direction as you. Okay, so we're here at shoulders width apart, and both of our feet should point straight if they can. Tailbone slightly tucked down a little bit, okay? And we have a soft bend in the knees, just a natural bend. All right, we're going to shift slightly to the left. We're going to turn our hips, and we're going to pivot on the right heel 45 degrees. Remember, don't go more than 45 degrees. Don't go to the side, and don't go too little bit. We just want to make sure that we're at a 45-degree angle. Now shift your weight over to the right, and we sit. Then pick up your left foot. Notice where your left foot is if you don't have tape on the floor. And I want you to step out with your left heel edge right in front of where your heel was. Then I'd like for you to move your weight forward, heel ball toe, bending the knee. We have left leg is bent, right leg is naturally straight, left knee does not go past the toes. Remember, the knee stays behind the toes. And when we shift our weight back, the right knee is in line with the right foot. You may not be able to see your toes, but when you move your weight forward and start turning your hips to the open position, following the right foot direction, your left knee should be in line with your left foot, okay? So that's our left bow stance. Let's try that one more time. From here, shoulders width apart. We shift slightly left, turning to the right, using the hips, turn 45 degrees. Shift your weight to the right, sit. Now these are slightly bent. Pick up your left foot, step right in front of where it was. Try not to bring your foot in, okay? Step right in front of where it was, then move weight forward, making sure that the hips are turned in line with the back foot. So the hip joints are going to be open to the right corner, okay? All right, let's try it one more time. From here, move weight, turn to the right, using the hips, shift to the right, sit, stepping out with the left heel edge, move weight forward, heel, ball, toe, keeping the hips open. If you look down and see all of your toes, is your back leg straight or is it locked? Make sure that there's just a little soft bend in it, so it's naturally straight, okay? And we should end up with feet shoulders width apart, okay? All right, so how are we doing on that? Yes? Okay, so no questions? All right. So now I want to teach you some upper body movement. And initially I'm going to go in your mirror image. Okay. All right. So I want your palms flat in front of your hips. Okay. And I don't want them too tight. I want to just kind of naturally kind of palms lifted as though they're kind of flat on the floor. But just remember, don't make it too tight. Okay. From here, we're going to circle the right arm up. So we're going to circle the right arm up, and then we're going to close with the left arm. So now you're going to notice that the right hand palm is kind of facing towards the 12 o'clock. That means the front direction. All right, remember, left arm is underneath. Then from here, the right arm is going to come down, and the left arm is going to come up. And it's going to stop when your right hand is in front of your right hip, okay? All right, so again from here, circle the right arm up, close with the left. Then left arm comes up, right arm comes down, okay? Comes down. Now, what I want you to also think about is, after, okay, so from here, right arm circles up, left arm closes. Now, when the left arm comes up, I want the right hand to pass the left middle forearm. So don't pass over here by your palm or your wrist, and don't pass over here by your elbow. The middle of the forearm, and then it falls to the side. Okay? All right, again from here. Right arm circles up, left arm closes. Now, right hand points forward, left palm points up towards the elbow. Then left arm comes up, right hand passes left middle forearm, and then falls to the side. So it should be here in front of your right hip, okay? All right, so, okay, let's do it one more time from here. Right arm circles up, left arm closes. Left arm comes up, right hand passes middle forearm, and falls to the side. So it should look like this. So what we want is that our left arm should be kind of pointing towards the 3 o'clock or straight direction, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to be turning a little bit. That's why we'll be going to the 3 o'clock direction. But when we do this, the left arm should be kind of pointing straight forward, okay? All right, so now what I want to do is I want us to circle our arms again, and then we're going to do an upper body turn, okay? So from here, right arm circles up, left arm closes. Okay, when the left arm comes up and the right arm goes down, I want you to turn your body to the right. Okay, so when we go back here, we're slightly to the right and back. Up and down, turn. Okay, up and down, turn. Now what I want you to try to keep in mind is, can everybody take their left arm and from here, if this is a bowling lane, you know, a bowling lane and the alley's down this way. From here, we're just going to throw the ball. I want you to just throw the ball down the alley. Throw the ball down the alley. Okay, and when you throw the ball down the alley, I want you to turn your body. Turn your upper body. Okay, turn your upper body. Now, when we go into a left bow stance, okay, so here we are. Okay, we'll start from here. Okay, so shift to your right, turn to the, no, shift to your left, turn to the right. Shift to the right and sit. Step out with the left heel and move forward. Now see how your hips are in line with your back foot. They're at a diagonal. They're not straight forward. They're at a diagonal. Okay. So when your arms are like this, our shoulders are almost square. This is square. They're just a little bit off of square. Then from here, when the left arm comes up and it goes bowling down the alley, we're going to turn a little bit. We're going to turn this upper body a little bit to the right, okay? But when you do, I don't want you to do this. Don't take your hips with you. When you take your hips with you, do you notice how my knee now is not in line with my foot? So when you move your weight forward, it needs to make sure that your knee stays in line with your foot, okay? And when you do, I want you, if your arm is here or if your arm is here and the alley's here, I just want you to move into your bow stance, making sure that your knee and foot are in line. But when you do, the shoulders, not the hips, are going to turn to the right. See how my knee's still in line here? And we're going to be looking down the bowling alley this direction. So again, from here, as you move weight forward, turn to the right slightly. But now I want you to look down. Is your left knee in line with your left foot? Okay. All right. So again, from here, from the back, okay, then throw your ball, your shoulders, go into your bow stance. Okay. And then we can check and see, is our knee in line with our foot? All right. Again, from here, as you move weight forward, turn the upper body and swing up the left arm. And now the left finger should be pointing the 3 o'clock direction. We're looking at the 3 o'clock direction to see that our ball, we made a strike, okay? So we're happy about that. Okay, so how are we gonna put these together? Okay, palms are flat in front of our hips. We're gonna shift slightly to the left. We're going to turn to the right and open the right foot 45 degrees. When you do, make sure your left knee still stays in line with your left foot. As you move weight to the right, I want you to notice your shoulders now are towards the corner. As you move weight to the right and we sit, up. See how my shoulders now are turning back to 12 o'clock? And when my arms close, I'm going to step in my bow stance. But my shoulders are not exactly square. They're still a little bit open, okay? Now I'm looking at 12 o'clock direction, all right? Now, as I move my weight into my bow stance, making sure my left knee stays in line with my left foot, I'm gonna swing up my left arm, the right hand's gonna pass the middle forearm, and I'm looking down the lane where I threw my ball. Make sure that your knee is in line with your foot. make sure your left fingers are pointing straight to the 3 o'clock direction, okay? And don't lean. Keep your body kind of upright, okay? So that means then that the hip, let me see if I can show you this. Okay. The hip needs to kind of tuck in a little bit, okay? So if this is straight, it wants to tuck in a little bit, and so we're kind of altering our body shape. Remember we said we want one line? Here we are standing straight up and down. So this one is a little bit different, okay? So, all right, let's try it again. Palms flat. We're going to shift to the left. We're going to turn to the right and open the right foot 45 degrees. When we shift to the right and sit, we're going to swing up the right arm. We're going to close with the left. When the arms close, we step. Now make sure you have space in your armpit, that your right hand is looking towards the 12 o'clock direction. Left arm, left palm is up. And as you move your weight forward, the left arm comes up, right arm goes down, passes middle forearm, turning the upper body, going into our bow stance. Now looking down the alley, now the left finger should be pointing to the 3 o'clock direction. Your right hand should be in front of your right hip. And when you are in this position and you bring your right hand up, we call this the tiger's mouth. And the tiger's mouth usually is always open. Why? Because the tiger is always hungry, okay? So why is the tiger's mouth always hungry and always open? Because we always want to be able to grab, okay? Unless we're making our fist, we usually have this open hand position, okay? So the tiger's mouth will point to the middle forearm. So if it's like this in the end position, when you bring your hand straight up, see how this tiger mouth points to the middle forearm? So try not to have it turn this way, because now when you lift up your arm, it's going to be pointing here. So make sure that the elbow is turned a little bit, that the tiger's mouth then points to the middle forearm. So you can kind of check yourself here and then drop your arm. Remember we talked about, well, maybe we didn't. Okay, this is the natural resting place for our arm. So if you just angle your arm by your side and lift your palm and bend your elbow a little bit, this is its natural resting place. So this is where we want it to be, so that the tiger's mouth points to the middle forearm, okay? All right, so let's try this again. Palms flat in front of our hips. We shift slightly left. Turning to the right, pivot on the right heel 45 degrees. Make sure your left knee still stands with your foot. Circling the arms, right arm circles up, left arm closes, turning back towards the 12 direction. Arms close, we step. Make sure that your shoulders are not square, that they're still open a little bit. As you move weight forward into your bow stance, the left arm is going to come up, right hand passing left middle forearm, turning the upper body slightly to the right, and left palm finishes in front of the hip. So now we're looking at the 3 o'clock direction. Fingers pointing towards the 3 o'clock direction, okay? Is your torso straight up and down, or are you leaning a little bit? Make sure your torso is straight up and down, just like when we were standing here. It's the same thing. We're standing straight up. So make sure you tuck in that hip, okay? All right, one more time from here. Shifting slightly left, turning to the right, open the right foot 45 degrees. Is your left knee still in line with your foot? Move weight to the right. When you move weight to the right, circle the right arm up, turning back towards the direction. Arms close, step. Then move forward. Left arm comes up, turning the upper body slightly to the right. Left hand passes middle forearm, and we finish when both arms arrive, and it arrives at the same time. What we're working on here is coordinating our upper and lower body so that they move together. So what I don't want to see is that you're here, you move like this, and then your arms go. We have to make sure that the lower body and the upper body go together. So as I move my weight into my bow stance, the arms and the legs go together. So by the time that the leg reaches, the arms reach, and we all stop together. So technically speaking, if I go into my bow stance here, technically, according to, coordinating upper and lower body, I'm now done. So we have to make sure that we reserve enough coordination so that as we're moving the lower body, the upper body's moving at the same time. So when one ends, the other ends. Okay, how are we doing? Do we have any questions?
Can we follow you do it in the direction we'd normally do it in now?
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So here we are like this. Okay. Our palms are in front of our hips, palms facing downward. Feet shoulders width apart, feet point straight if they can, and lift your head slightly. Okay. Shifting slightly to the left. Turn your body, open the right foot 45 degrees. Make sure your left knee is in line with your left foot. As the right arm circles down and we move our weight to the right foot, I'm going to start turning back towards the 12 o'clock direction as my arms circle. When my arms close, I step. Okay? Make sure that your shoulders are not too square because you're going to be overstretching yourself. Right hand now is kind of looking towards the 12 o'clock direction. Eyes are looking at the 12 o'clock direction. As we move our weight forward, the left arm comes up, right arm passes left middle forearm, turning the upper body, and we finish when we get into our bow stance. So remember, left fingers pointing to the 3 o'clock direction, right tiger's mouth is pointing to the left middle forearm, and our looking direction is to the 3 o'clock direction. I like using the clock, and my directions never change. So whatever direction we start in, that's the 12 o'clock direction for me. So if this is 12 o'clock, this will always be 3, this will always be 9, and this will always be 6 o'clock, okay? All right, so let's try that again. Feet shoulders width apart, palms flat in front of our hips. We're gonna move weight to the left. Turn to the right, open the right foot 45 degrees. Move weight to the right, and we're going to sit, and we're going to close the arms. Arms close, step. Move weight forward. Left arm comes up, right arm comes down, looking towards the 3 o'clock direction, and left fingers pointing to the 3 o'clock direction. And our arm, our left hand, our left arm is not going to be straight up and down. It's going to be slightly turned at a diagonal just a little bit, because I want you to use the inside part of the arm. We're not using the top, so we're using here instead of turn your arm slightly up. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to turn it and then go like this. So from here, it just lifts up. It's the same, should be the same arm, okay? All right, let's try it one more time. From here. All right, move weight, turn. Move weight to the right, circle your arms. Arms close, step. Move weight forward into your bow stance, left arm up, down. Looking to the 3 o'clock direction. You're in a good bow stance. Check your knee. Is your knee in line with your foot? And is your arm not straight up and down, just slow tilted just a little bit? Is your right hand looking, tiger's mouth, pointing to the middle forearm? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to give you some Kodak moments, okay? And so this is what I'd like for you to, okay. So when you shift our weight to right, this is 1. 2, open up your foot 45 degrees, and this is 2. 3, circle your arms, and when you circle your arms, we're going to be in the seated position, and it's going to look like this. This is 3. So I'm kind of sitting. Okay, this is 3. This is 4. This 5. So I want you to make sure that you're capturing these Kodak moments, okay? So again, from here, This is 1, shifting slightly to the left. 2, turn. This is 2. 3, sit. And now we're in this position. Our right hand now should be flat, facing back, left palm flat, facing forward. Finish closing your arms and step. This is 4. Then 5, move weight, turn the body up and down. This is the end posture. Name of this movement is called ward, W-A-R-D, off, O-F-F, left, because we're using our left arm. This is ward, off, left. Okay, so let's try this again. I'll go your direction. Palms flat. Okay, ward off left. 1, shift weight. 2, open. 3, sit. 4, close and step. 5, turn. Okay, all right, do it again from here. 1, shift weight. 2, turn and open. 3, sit. 4, close. 5, ward off left. Okay, one more time. 1, shift weight. 2, turn. 3, sit. 4, close. 5, ward off left. How's this? Anybody have any questions? This is kind of simple, right? Okay, how are we doing?
Have a que-
Hello? Okay, go ahead.
When you're coming around with your arm out, the last part of your hips are in line with your back foot in the bow stance. When you turn, do your shoulders follow your hips until your arm goes up and then you're turning your shoulders a little more than your hips?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so say for instance, I'm in this position. Okay. See how my hips are here? If I turn my hips as I turn my upper body, now what's going to happen is then my knee's not going to be in line with my foot anymore. Okay? So what I want us to do is I want us to go into the bow stance and using the middle body to kind of turn just a little bit. Our upper body can turn 45 degrees from where we are, okay? So I just want you to turn your shoulders, but don't turn your hips.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, any other questions? That's a really good question. We must make sure that we maintain the integrity of the structure of our bones and that we don't put extra pressure on any of our joints, because that would be kind of bad. So if you were to take your hips with this turn, then the knee is going to misalign. This is going to put pressure here. It's going to put pressure here on this hip. It's also going to put pressure on your ankle. So we need to make sure that we're going into the bow stance using the middle body to turn just a little bit, just a 45-degree angle turn, so that the arm can then swing. Okay, the arm can swing. We say that we want the lower body heavy, we want the middle body flexible, and we want the upper body light. So the middle body is what's going to help direct us where we want ourselves to go, the energy of what we're trying to do to go. Okay, all right, any other questions? Okay, all right, so what I want you to do is we're going to start with our feet, shoulders width apart. I want your hands touching the outside edge of your pants, the seam running down your pants. Your middle finger should be touching that seam. and here, just let your arms just kind of naturally go straight. So I don't want you like this. So we don't want to be puffed out. So we want to be just naturally straight. Then from here, I want you to rotate your arms so that the palms are facing back. Then I want you to lift your arms to shoulder height. Once to shoulder height, I want you to bend your elbows a little bit downward, and starting with the upper arm, then the forearm, and then the palms. And we end up with the palms flat here in front of our hips. Okay, one more time. This is what we call prepare. Prepare means we check ourselves to make sure our feet are shoulders width apart, feet should be pointing straight, hands touching the outer part of our thighs, and we're looking straight forward. Then we rotate our arms facing back, lift to shoulder height. Once to shoulder height, turn down your elbows a little bit, lead with the upper arms, then the forearms, and then the palms. And now they will wind up flat here in front of the hips. One of the reasons why when we're here, we want to turn the elbows down. If we don't turn the elbows down and we start to lower our arms, leading with the upper arms, then what happens is that we have this look. So that now that the palms are lifted and they're coming down like this, and then they wind up going flat here. So what we want here is we want to keep the palms relatively kind of flat, not show the palms too much here, and then just have them kind of float downward. I want you to think of pressing down, okay, because that's what we're doing. We're kind of pressing down here. So here, hands at our sides, rotate the arms, lift to shoulder height. Once to shoulder height, turn your elbows down slightly. Upper arms go first, then the forearms, and then the palms. And we wind up here. We call this almost at the bottom. All right? Now we have our arm shape. Then we're going to go to ward off left. We're going to shift slightly to the left. To the right. Open your right foot 45 degrees. Then we're going to sit. We're going to go into posture 3. Then we're going to close the arms. We're going to go to 4. Then from here, go to 5. Go into your bow stance. Don't take your hips with you. Just turn your shoulders straight. And we end at the same time. All right, so I'm going to do this the same direction. From here, we prepare. Then we go to opening. Rotate, lift your height. Once to shoulder height. Turn the elbow slightly, lead with the upper arm, then the forearms, then the palms. Almost at the bottom, we go to ward off left. 1, shift left. 2, open. 3, sit. 4, close. Step. 5, ward off left. Okay, one more time. Prepare. Opening, rotate and lift to shoulder height. Then turn down the elbows a little bit, leading with the upper arm, forearms, and palms. Ward off left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you do these movements, I've given you these Kodak moments so that you can kind of check your timing. But when you actually do the movement, I want everything to be nice and polished. So what do I mean by that? Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Okay? So everything needs to go together as one, and we stop when we get to the end posture. Okay, try this one more time. From here, prepare. Opening, rotate and shoulder height. Then, arms pressing down. Almost at the bottom. Start off left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, one more time. Prepare. Opening. ward off left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is ward off left. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Isn't this fabulous? Now we've done the first 2 movements in the form.
Almost. We're almost done.
Michael says, oh, we're almost done. There are 3 movements in the form. Out of the 103 movements, there are only 36 different movements. So we know 2. So we've got 34 more to go. Anybody questions? Pretty cool. Okay, so can you guys do this by yourself so that I can watch you? How's that? Okay, I'll call it out and I'm going to now turn and watch you. Okay, you guys ready? Prepare. Make sure your feet are shoulders width apart, hands apart, eyes looking straight forward, head like you have a book on top of your head. All right, we go to opening. Rotate and lift to shoulder height. Once to shoulder height, elbows dropping down slightly. Then let the arm rest down. Almost at the bottom. Ward off left. Shift left. 1, 2, turn. 3, sit. 4, close. 5, go into your bow stance. Ward off left. Now, check your left knee direction. Is your left knee in line with your left foot? Correct answer? Yes, Terry, I see you nodding. That's the correct answer. Yes, yes, yes. We got a good nod. Are your left fingers pointing to the 3 o'clock direction? Yes, okay. Is your left arm relatively straight? Okay, so your elbow should not be bent. Like if you're throwing a bowling ball, the arm would be relatively straight. Very nice, Veronica. Okay, and your left palm should not be flat. It be slightly tilted. Very nice. Good looking there, Kelly. Good job, Rita. Working. You're looking at 3 o'clock. Don't look at me. Looking at 3 o'clock. Okay, Miranda. All right, does anybody, you guys are looking really good. Okay, how's that feel?
Good.
Okay, all right. So one of the things I want you to pay attention to is when you're here and then go into ward off left, you have to do this. See how I'm leaning? Okay, and see how I've got this one line, which is what we want in the rest of the form, except there are a few movements where we don't. I want you not to lean. Make sure you tuck this hip in so that now we're standing straight up now, just like when we were here. So if you go and you're still standing up straight, this is basically what we want. So try not to lean, okay? Anybody have any questions? You guys look fabulous. Fabulous. Gosh, this is what the part that I miss the most of being in person in class with you guys, is being able to see you guys in person and not have to have Michael scroll through the pages so that I can see everybody and then wait for the page to bring up everybody's picture so that I can actually see you. So I apologize for that. But part of martial art training is to stay in posture. So if you can, stay in posture, and if you don't want to do it, that's totally okay too. So no worries. Okay, anybody have any questions? No questions. All right, that's your job for this week, is to practice prepare, opening, and ward off. If you have questions, please feel free to email us at info@yankees.com, and we'll be more than happy to answer your question. Or this video will be posted. So go back and post it on Facebook. Then you can look at the video and hear the video. Okay? All right. So everybody have a fabulous week, and I will see you next time. Thank you again for joining us, and go forth in Tai Chi.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Nancy,
Thank
Dee
Thank
Dee.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 I don't know if you can